The documents you use on 9/11 show, well, there's one document that suggests that Tower 7 fell down faster than it could have fallen down just by natural.
It doesn't suggest it, it says it. It said it fell at, NIST report said it fell at free fall.
So then you make the leap.
Wait a minute. That means you got to defy the laws of physics. That means everything was removed in which for anything to fall at free fall.
But then you make that
speed.
leap then to the idea that it was demolished by explosives inside by the government.
I don't make a leap. Why didn't they check for explosives? They never did, if not to eliminate them. They didn't do that.
The documents you use on 9/11 show, well, there's one document that suggests that Tower 7 fell down faster than it could have fallen down just by natural.
It doesn't suggest it, it says it. It said it fell at, NIST report said it fell at free fall.
So then you make the leap.
Wait a minute. That means you got to defy the laws of physics. That means everything was removed.
I'm going to show you a videotape of the collapse itself.
Describe that.
Now we go to videotape, the collapse of this building.
It's amazing.
Amazing, incredible, pick your word. For the third time today, it's reminiscent of those pictures we've all seen too much on television before, when a building was deliberately destroyed by well-placed dynamite to knock it down.
Third time today, purposely destroyed with dynamite.
Very much.
What happened to Building 7? What happened to Building 7, Bill?
I don't even know where it is. They asked me a direct question. I had to give an honest answer.
How do I know about Building 7, but a former president don't?
First of all, let's go back to your basic premise that there was a pool of molten steel. I know of absolutely nobody, no eyewitness who said so, nobody who's produced it.
You'd get down below and you'd see molten steel running down the channel rails. Like you're in a foundry.
Yeah, like lava.
Like lava
from a volcano.
No eyewitness who said so.
There actually melted beams where it was molten steel that was being dug out.
No eyewitness who said so.
Underground, it was still so hot that molten metal dripped down the sides of the wall.
Nobody who's produced.
I have a tape of a BBC reporter broadcasting directly back to England talking about a third building has collapsed. World Trade Center Building 7 talks for 7 minutes. All the while she's talking, World Trade Center Building 7 is still standing right behind her. It didn't fall for another half hour, yet they were doing a pre-broadcast back to England that, yes, it's true,
you need to
that
take
this
a break
building
here.
Fell and it hadn't fallen yet.
If you're trying to make out the British Broadcasting Company, one of the most respected news organisations in the world, was inventing huge buildings falling over, you need to have a break, Jesse. We'll come back after the break and we'll talk about Israel and Iran.
Are you kidding me? This is a fact, my friend.
Very sketchy. There's almost a sense downtown in New York behind me, down by the World Trade Centers, of just an area completely closed off as the rescue workers try to do their job. As you can see behind me, the Trade Center...
Building 7 is clearly visible right behind the reporter. It wasn't until 5:20 Eastern Time that it came...
Your question is what?
Well, how do you explain this discrepancy of 100 feet of free fall without the use of explosives?
To tell you the truth, this is an area that I am not very familiar, and if you would drop me a note and mention that we talked on C-SPAN, I'd be glad to get you a more complete answer. But honestly, it's every once in a while I have to plead ignorance about an issue, and this is one that I have not been involved in, but I'll be more than happy to look into it. And thanks for calling.
Your book.